Today's video is going to be another one of those don't do what I did type of videos.
Don't do it, Fredo!
So we're going to be talking about shoplifting. So when I was around 16, 17, I kind of got the idea that stealing from a big business, especially something little, it wouldn't affect them at all, right? I mean, you take one little thing from a store, it's not like the whole business is going to go under. That was kind of my mindset. I don't know what made me think that, but one day I just had that thought, which I guess in a way isn't entirely false, but there's still other factors to it. Like, let's say 10 people steal one cookie. I don't know, I'm just using an example. Even though the business might not go under, there's still, like, management at whatever store you're stealing from, and they have an inventory to take, and when 10 cookies show up missing, you know, maybe that'll raise some eyebrows, and maybe the manager of that place could get in trouble. I'm sure there's other, downsides too, but that's just the one that I can think of now. I don't remember the first time I did it, but I think I remember how it started. A lot of you probably know what Wawa is. If you don't, it's basically like a Quick Check or like a Buc-ee's, something like that. You know, just like a gas station slash kind of like convenience store. And when you order a sandwich from this place, you kind of put in your order on a screen. It gives you a receipt. You take that receipt to the counter, and then you pretty much pay and wait for your food. So where the shoplifting began, I would order my sandwich. I would pay for the sandwich. But while I was waiting, I would kind of go around the store and I would grab like a drink, or I would grab snacks. And in the back of my mind, I always knew to kind of play it like, all right, if this footage of me on camera got shown to me, I could play it off that I just forgot to pay. Like, I was always very smart like that. It was almost like a do it right under their nose type of thing. I would kind of just casually grab it. I wouldn't try to hide it. I would just have it, and then I'd go back to waiting for my sandwich, and I would get it, and I would just walk out. I did that, I don't even know how many times. I never got caught, but then I started to expand a bit. I wasn't just stealing from Wawa. At the peak of my shoplifting craze, I went on a family vacation to North Carolina. A whole, maybe like 20, 25 family members would go. We would get this huge house, and we were right down the road from a plaza with a big store, and we were right by a beach with a bunch of little beach stores too. So me and a few cousins went into this grocery store. I think it's called Publix. I don't have them where I live, but I've seen them in other states. And when I went in there, I knew, like, all right, I want to try to steal from here now. And I was so stupid. Like, looking back, I had the money to buy whatever I wanted, like, because I only stole a piece of candy. But I think I just loved the thrill. As stupid as that sounds, I think it was just the adrenaline, like, oh my god, I'm doing this, I might get caught. But if I get away with it, I'm gonna feel so crazy. So you know how some candy kind of comes in like a rectangular cardboard box, and then on the inside they have like a plastic bag that actually has the candy in it? I remember going over to the candy aisle, and I think they might have been like gummy lifesavers. I was with my cousins. I was like, hey, watch this. I open the little cardboard box, I take out the plastic with the gummies, and I just put them in my pocket. And I put the cardboard box back just where it was, and we walked out, and I got away with it, I guess. On that same vacation, probably not the same day, but definitely within a few days of the first incident, I remember me and a few of my cousins went to like the store on the beach. They had little souvenirs and little toys for kids, and I remember this place had like an upstairs area, and there was no one up there, no customers, no employees. And this is around the time that fidget spinners were really popular. You could get them everywhere. And they had a few of them up there. And I'm like, you guys want fidget spinners? And I did a quick scan. Like, I made sure nobody from downstairs was looking up. I checked for cameras. There were none. It was foolproof. So I took 2 fidget spinners out of their boxes, gave them to my cousin. Or actually, no, I think I put them in my pocket. I carried the contraband. I left the box there. We left, and I gave them their fidget spinners. Which, looking back, a place like that, I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it might have been more of like a mom and pop family owned type of place. So I feel really bad about that. But I didn't get caught and I got away with it. Fidget spinners were pretty overpriced back then just because people could charge what they wanted for them because everyone was buying them. But that was probably my most expensive heist. I never stole, any electronics or anything like that. It was mainly just food, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think the last time I did it was back at the Wawa. but this time was a little different. I had to have been like 17, and I remember I was with my friend and a couple girls, and the girls waited in the car, and we just walked into Wawa. And I remember this time, my friend was like buying his food, paying for it. I was kind of walking around with him. I grabbed a couple snacks, I grabbed a drink or two, I think, and my friend went to pay, and I was just like, you know what? Like, instead of paying for one thing and then going back and grabbing other stuff, I can just walk out right now. Like, I can play this off as an accident. Who's gonna stop me? And I just had, like, at least 4 things in my hand. My friend's going to pay, and I just walked out. And I did not get caught with that either. I laugh now. You know, it's funny to look back on, but things could have went south. I mean, I did this, I don't know how many times, and if I got caught, I mean, there would have been consequences. I don't think I would have got, like, arrested or anything, but, I mean, something probably would have happened. Like, cops probably would have shown up, you know, one of these times if I did get caught. So I'm very thankful that I didn't, and I encourage everyone to never shoplift. I remember, though, I did stop once I turned 18, because I was kind of like, okay, you know, if I get caught now, I'm an adult. It's probably going to be a whole lot worse than getting caught when you're not an adult. And, you know, I'm happy I could think logically there, and I made the right choice to stop doing it. Because let's say I didn't, and then for the past 7 years I've just still been shoplifting, there's no way I wouldn't have gotten caught. So it had to have caught up to me if I went that long doing it. But luckily it was only probably under a year, you know, that I did it for. I didn't get caught, and I'm very happy that I didn't. If you're ever thinking about shoplifting, you just gotta know to make the right choice. You have to think about the consequences. Even if you're a kid and you might think, oh, nothing's gonna happen to me, they're just gonna let me go, you know, I'm only a kid. Maybe that's the case. But there's always the possibility of something worse happening, you know, police coming. I don't know how much merchandise you have to steal to get arrested, but I'm sure it's not a crazy amount. Like, I'm sure if you walk into Target and grab, you know, really anything, they could probably call the cops on you for that. Because I would imagine at, like, these big corporate places, it's probably, you know, they probably have some kind of policy where, you know, they will call the cops and they'll make you stay there. Whereas, like, you know, maybe a local family-owned place will just yell at you, tell you to get out. I mean, they'll probably call the cops too, but why even take that chance, you know? Stealing's illegal, stealing's wrong. Why not just do the right thing? And I mean, do you really want to have a criminal record for shoplifting? Like, especially if you're stealing something so little that you could have paid for anyway. Like, imagine I got caught when I was on vacation. Like, let's say I'm with my family, I go back to the house, and the cops come, and they're looking for me because I stole a piece of candy. You know how stupid I would look and feel? I'm very happy that didn't happen, but you know how embarrassing that would be? But yeah, bottom line, I became an adult, and I stopped doing it. I made the right choice to not do it anymore. Do I regret it? Yes, of course. I mean, like I said before, you're messing with people's inventory. With the fidget spinners that I took, I was probably messing with a family business. I'm not happy about it. But I did want to share it just so, you know, if anyone out there ever thinks about doing it or currently does it, I would definitely encourage you to stop and not do it. But yeah, that is my story about how I used to shoplift. If you have any stories similar, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.